From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.
Good morning. This is Craig Allison with your Morning Pulse for Monday, January 26th. Sorry with the late start, folks. Had some computer technical difficulties back here. And as one of my coworkers says, the computer can smell fear. So we experienced that this morning. But that being said, we're going to kick things off with our question of the day for Monday morning. Question was, sales for this piece of furniture peaked in the 80s and 90s. Now it's considered a relic. What is it? Answer is the TV cabinet. If you want to put in your own guesses for question of the day, be sure to watch 1011 this morning. Put your guesses on Facebook, on our Facebook page for 1011 News, and we share guesses and the answer at the end of our show every morning. Now, that being said, let's get into our headlines. A lot of local headlines starting things off in these negative single-digit temperatures that we experienced overnight. Emergency crews responded to a fire at an industrial building in West Lincoln. Now, the details are limited right now, but we know the fire was reported after 11 p.m. last night at a building near Rosa Parks Way and South Folsom Streets. Now, the businesses Lincoln Industries, Lincoln Chrome, and Chrome Works are all around this area. Now, while no visible smoke or flames could be seen from the outside, a 1011 reporter saw several LFR units on scene with roads leading up to the building blocked off. So be sure to stick with us as we work through this morning to figure if there's any more updates to this story that we'll let you know about as soon as we can on our 1011 Now News app. Now, happening today, former Senator Dan McEwen, who recently resigned from the legislature, is due in court. He faces a disturbing the peace charge stemming from an allegation of inappropriately touching a female staffer last year. His resignation came just minutes before the legislature was set to take an expulsion vote against him earlier this month. McEwen's last court appearance was in mid-December when he pled not guilty to his misdemeanor charge. He's due in court at 11 a.m. this morning, so be sure to stay up to date with us with what happens today on 1011 Now News app. Third story in our crime tracker from this past weekend, a man has been arrested after being accused of stabbing someone Saturday morning. Lincoln police responded to a call at Travel Lodge Motel near 48th Street and Cornhusker Highway just after 2 a.m. Saturday. That's where they found a man with a stab wound to his shoulder. LPD says the victim got into an argument with 37-year-old Joshua Dykoff. As the victim was leaving, Dykoff allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed the victim, according to police. The victim was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition. Dykoff is now facing 3 charges. Your fourth story, also from over the weekend, at least 100 protesters were seen at 48th and O Street yesterday afternoon. Most people were holding signs expressing concerns about immigration and customs enforcement. This after 2 deadly shootings in Minneapolis involving ICE, resulting in the death of Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Preddy was killed Saturday morning, and the Department of Homeland Security says he was shot after he approached ICE agents with a handgun. However, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz calls the explanation, quote, nonsense. As video of the shooting shows, Preddy was holding a cell phone, not a gun, when he was killed.
I want for people to seek justice and to feel safe and heard in this country. And I also want the federal government to stand down and let small government do what small government is supposed to be able to do.
You just heard one of the protesters that was at Sunday's event right there. Senator Pete Ricketts making a statement on the deadly shooting, saying in part, quote, the nation witnessed a horrifying situation this past weekend. My prayers are with the family of Alex Preddy. My support for funding ICE remains the same. Enforcing our immigration laws makes our streets safer. It also protects our national security, but we must also maintain our core values as a nation, including the right to protest and assemble, end quote. In more news, your fifth story, a 47-pound 12-year-old was life-flighted to Omaha after being admitted to a Lincoln hospital earlier this month. This, according to Lancaster County court documents. Those documents say the boy was too weak to lift himself up or speak as he suffered from pneumonia and his core body temperature was 80 degrees. He was brought to the hospital by his guardian, saying he hadn't eaten in 3 days. The boy was flown to an Omaha hospital in critical condition. A child abuse expert at the hospital later told police it would take months of starvation to get the boy where he was. A court order for emergency temporary custody of the child was issued on Wednesday, but no criminal charges have been filed yet, and the boy's condition is unclear. Wrapping things up on the lighter side with your final story this morning. Since it opened, Sower Books here in town has been hosting regular events with the hopes to create an all-inclusive bookstore for all ages. The inside of the store packed with not just pages yesterday, but kids and parents looking to drop off a toy and take one home. The store held its first ever community toy swap, a way to help people sort through extra toys lying around their house after the holiday season and give them a new life. Tables just past the entrance, filling with stuffed animals, Elmos, and much more. The event was free for all to come and exchange whatever they brought for whatever they liked the most.
It's perfect both to give that toy its purpose back, but also to make somebody's day. I remember going to something like this as a kid, or like yard sales, and falling in love with toys. It makes such a difference to both a child's life, but also to a parent's life who maybe couldn't afford to get their kid new toys.
And you can keep up to date with other future events happening at Sower through their social media and website, which is all linked in this full story on our website, 1011now.com. That's going to be your morning pulse for this Monday morning. And before we toss things over to Brandon Rector, we'll throw things over to our 7-day lineup here. It is quite the frigid temperatures to start us off this morning, but it's going to warm up.
Good Monday morning. Meteorologist Brandon Rector with you in the 1011 Severe Weather Center. It is going to be mostly sunny to sunny and a bit breezy for today, with our winds late morning and afternoon out of the west-southwest at about 10 to 20, with some gusts up to 30 miles per hour, making it feel colder than it actually is, and will be mostly clear, it looks like, for the evening. Temperatures at noon, and this is after we start this morning, below zero. We should warm up to around 10 to 30 above across the state, coldest in the southeast. At 4 this afternoon, we're going to be in the low 30s to low 40s for the most part, but still probably in the low 20s in the southeast. And then at 8 this evening, temperatures ranging from the upper teens to upper 20s. In Lincoln for today, we'll start off around 8 below zero, warming up to about 28 for a high this afternoon.
From the 1011 Now Alert Center, this is Morning Pulse.